into the first question. For those who don't know anything about machine learning, can you please explain how businesses use it?
Sure. I mean, machine learning can be used in a number of different ways depending on the type of business. When you're talking about, kind of like our industry, it's more marketing related. And so machine learning is used to take an input of data to sort of do a level of programmatic analyzing of that data to typically, from a marketing perspective, to learn about consumers, consumer behaviors, purchases, or anything like that, to sort of make some sort of prediction to understand, take those consumer behaviors and turn them into potential action. And so from a marketing perspective, you could be using it to try to understand a specific consumer's actions and those behaviors and what might be the next action. Like, for example, companies are using it to understand what you might put in your shopping cart and then show you something. Other marketers are using it to understand, who their customers are so that they can find more customers that look just like those customers. So it really depends on the business application itself. But yeah, I mean, there's tons of ways to use machine learning to, analyze data and create some new action out of it.
Absolutely. Well, why do you think we're hearing so much about machine learning these days?
Well, two reasons for sure. One, there's a lot more data today to create machine learning applications off of. And so the more data that you're collecting, the more data you can feed into the machine learning algorithms. And the more data you can feed into it, the better result you'll get out. So the massive collection of data that is going on in the world today is sort of creating that opportunity to say, okay, well, with more data, we can, learn better. And that means machines can learn better. So that's for sure one reason. The other is the computing capabilities. So with the advancement of computing capabilities, we have not just a lot of data, but we have the processing capabilities to process a lot of data and therefore do huge, analyses with huge amounts of data in short periods of time. So that those two things together are really powering kind of this new growth of machine learning and AI.
Yeah, well, that's interesting that you mentioned AI, because that goes right into my third question, which is what's the difference between machine learning and AI? Also, why do you think AI has such sort of a negative connotation to it?
Well, AI, artificial intelligence, it sounds kind of scary. Machine learning is a form of AI. So that's where the relationship is between the two. Artificial intelligence is really the concept of enabling machines to kind of think like humans, right? To give them sort of the power to process information quickly, large amounts of information, and make decisions based on that. And so, if you go back 10, 20 years or more, people were talking about AI being like something that will change the world. And there was a lot of fear over like machines taking over the world and things like that. There's a lot of movies about that too. But, I think that created the stigma. And machine learning itself is really just a little piece of that. And so the machine learning is basically just the ability to, build an application that will take in and do an analysis of data and make decisions based on that data without necessarily having to have a human interaction. So somebody making the decision what to do. No, you kind of create rules and the application can then use those rules to decide, what decision to make based on what it sees with the data. Hopefully that clarifies something.
Yeah, no, that's a really great response. Can you share some stories of how Beadex's Omnisource IQ machine learning is helping other companies?
Sure. I mean, we are using machine learning primarily to help businesses understand not just who their customers are, but to take the data about their existing customers, put that into a machine learning application that has a set of rules that says, okay, well, I'm gonna analyze all the data I can about these people and make a decision about not just who those people are, but what defines them, what kind of other sort of data sets define who that audience of people are. So if you're a Best Buy and you want to know, you want to identify more people that buy big screen TVs, the best way to do that is to start with the people that have bought big screen TVs. So we take those people and the system does an analysis of them and it learns as much as it can about those people, any data that it has. And then it says, okay, now I really know a lot about people that buy big screen TVs. So now I can go back into like the whole universe of consumers in the US and say, who else looks just like these people, fits the same mold or has the same data points, and then find more people that are highly likely to buy big screen TVs because they look just like these other people. And so by doing that, we're able to help companies find an audience of people that look like their best customers so that they can now, target those people with the right message and, reach them with a marketing message that we believe, will help convert them better than using some other sort of off the shelf audience data that, is not really related to their own customers.
Definitely. Yeah. Okay. Well, in terms of machine learning, those are the only questions I had. Do you have anything else to add or anything maybe I didn't ask?
I'd say the only thing that I could add is just to understand that everything that we're doing and everything that we're talking about doing here with machine learning and all this data that is being collected is, again, being done in sort of a privacy safe, privacy compliant manner. And we're able to do that, not only because the data is provided with permission, but also because the data is being analyzed completely anonymized. So it's not like we're looking and saying, hey, here's Jessie, and I'm going to share all the information about her. Jessie is just a data point, and there's all kinds of other data points about her. But the client, the customer, never really sees all that information about the people. So it's because of that, we're able to do it in a privacy compliant manner that keeps your information safe. Sort of shields it from the client. The client is then only able to market to you, but based on the knowledge that they know that they're going to reach someone that is a good prospective customer. And you get the benefit by being able to, be reached by a merchant that is trying to sell you something that highly likely that you're interested in. So it adds value on both ends.
Oh, that's a really great point. Probably the best point out of all of this. So thanks for mentioning it.
Absolutely. My pleasure.
Okay. Thanks,
All right.
David.
Thanks, Jessie.